Howdy, this is Craig Granny back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to cover round 1 predictions for the Killmonger and Thor Ragnarok arenas. And not to mention, today now there starts a new type of arena in Marvel Contest of Champions, and that's the 5-star feature arena. It features the same feature champ from the 4-star and 3-star feature arena. So we're talking about a Killmonger 5-star feature arena. And because of this, I had to put a little extra overtime in building out everything for the video, so sorry that it's a little bit later than usual, but now that I've got this template all set up, we should be back on schedule for prediction videos moving forward. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kind of do what I typically have done in the past with these arenas and kind of categorize what I think these arenas will kind of compare to the past, where I'll say it now and I'll say it kind of throughout this video. There are no past results with a 5-star feature arena, so kind of take all of these predictions as a really, with a grain of salt. I mean, these are rough predictions. We're going to learn more as we go through this. It's going to take 4 or 5 arenas with the new 5-star arena here to get a good feel about how these trends are going to be impacted by this new arena. But in the meantime, I'll try my best to come up with input and also base it off of the input that I get from you guys. Through the polls that I run through my YouTube channel. I think that's been very helpful in the past, and it's going to be even more so as we go through this new arena structure. But with that being said, here's my thoughts on where I think these arenas compare to the past. I mean, when it comes to the feature arenas, it's really either are they a new champ or old champ, and based off of that, that's how their cutoffs kind of go. And then when it comes to the 4-star basic Thor Ragnarok arena, there's 3 types of kind of groupings of cutoffs. Ones that are highly sought after, ones that have medium interest, and ones that have low interest. And I think when it comes to Thor Ragnarok, he's going to be kind of in that middle group, that medium interest level, just because he's already at the 4-star basic arena, and he's not even available in the base arena. So there's a lot of base crystals, and there's not a lot of folks that have them yet. At the same time, he doesn't have a ton of utility as a champ himself. He has some decent synergies, but anyway, he's kind of got middle ground kind of interest for the 4-star basic arena. And not to mention just, people are going to be scattered and smothered all over these arenas, so I don't think you're going to, even if he was a great champ, I don't know how high he'd get to push up, which is probably a good thing to have kind of like a Thor Ragnarok as the basic champ this time around, as people get used to this new arena structure. But anyway, with these arenas all categorized, let me jump into some past results for these. First, speaking of the mid-interest 4-star basic arena, here are a couple examples of some recent results. You have Angela at 3 million, Yondu at 4.1, and we have Star-Lord at 3.6. And I think Thor Ragnarok will probably be somewhere around that Star-Lord number. And then when we look at some recent new 4-star results, you can see MODOK came in at 16.4. You had Voice at the all-time high at 20.2. And I don't think we'll ever see that number again for the 4-star feature arena now that we have the 5-star feature arena. So I think Void will go down as the all-time champ, but we'll see. And then most recently we had Hawk Ragnarok come in at 17.5. Again, all of these numbers are in the past structure, so we don't really know how the what these numbers are going to look like I have a suspicion, and most folks in the community have a suspicion, that this will likely be the arena that gets impacted the most. I think we will see the cutoffs drop, but I also think we'll see the Crystal Shard tier cutoffs drop as well. And then lastly, we've got the 3-star feature arena. And this is probably the one that will probably be least impacted, as you probably got newer newer players, progressing players, all kind of playing around here as they're built out their roster. So this is a good way for folks to get the new champs without, who don't think they can go up to the higher feature arenas. So I think you're going to see these numbers kind of stay similar. But again, we're going to see. It's hard to say. All of these kind of numbers are going to be really, up in the air until you get a good sense over the next couple weeks of how these arena cutoffs will play out. So anyway, here's some of the past results. I also went to the community through my YouTube channel through some different polls and asked what you all felt the cutoffs will look this time around. And thank you very much for those folks who took the time to vote, and even more so for those folks who took time to explain their vote in the comment section. And here's kind of how things ended up. Starting first with the 4-star basic Thor Ragnarok arena, you can see that 44% was the biggest vote getter at 3 million to 3.5 million, but you still had some decent numbers kind of scattered elsewhere. Mal Games kind of had his thoughts here kind of represent most of the thoughts that I saw for folks that voted in this space. And it's the trickle up effect from this 5-star arena will affect this arena greatly. People from the 4-star feature go to the 5-star feature. People from the 4-star basic go to the 4-star feature. Thor Ragnarok was not a great champ to begin with, not much utility or damage. So he doesn't mention the synergies in here, but you get the point. I think Miles predicting as well as myself that you're going to see a lot of people move to the different arenas, and so Thor Ragnarok won't go that high. However, on the alternative side, we have Mark Grace here, great first baseman for the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. But anyway, if this is the real Mark Grace, thanks for coming. Otherwise, if it's just a fan, thanks for commenting as well. But anyway. Thor, his point is Thor Ragnarok is a weak hitter and has clunky gameplay, but what he does have is high PI, prestige, and a key synergy with Hawk Ragnarok, aka Gladiator Hawk. And that version of Hawk happens to be a Dormammu killer. Whatever value Thor Rag has directly tied to Hawk Rag, and since Hawk Rag is such a great boss counter, Thor gets an uptick by association, grind at least 4 million with 4.5 million being the slam dunk target. I think that's very good input, Mark. I think that will help push those numbers up a bit, but I don't think it's going to get him above 3.5. But anyway, thanks everybody for their input on that poll. Then we go to the next poll, which is what do you think the cutoff will be for 4-star feature Killmonger Arena? You've got, you can see it's kind of scattered everywhere, with 17 million being the highest at 35, but that means everybody else over 65% felt that he'd be under 17 million. You've got Top Hunter here with his point because there will be a 5-star feature arena and high-level players will participate there instead. He's feeling 14 to 15 million. But then Tracy comes in with a good point at 17 million. The counter argument, great champ plus amazing synergies, the newest god tier kind of stuff. So I think Tracy's saying because Killmonger is such a great champ, and he is a good champ for sure. I don't think he's god tier, but definitely I agree with Seaton's evaluation of putting him at demigod. That feels about right. Demigod, or maybe even amazing tier, but regardless, I mean, I think he's a really decent champ. But so Tracy's point is that's going to push him up. But I don't think Tracy's accounting for, maybe he is or she, that this is actually, also thinking about the 5-star feature. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this actually plays out. And lastly, I put a poll out there regarding the 5-star arena, and I asking the community what you all think. And you can see that the results really scattered everywhere, but most folks think he's going to be over 30 million. I mean, if you look at the numbers here, it's over 75% feel that he's going to be over 30 million, and then what you get there is kind of scattered between the different areas. You got Joe MCOC DR DV99 saying, I picked this because there's an item in the store where you buy the arena combat booster pack, and I think it will help put up the points. And I think that's a great point by Joe, the fact that Kabam sold out that booster pack. So if people come out and use it, and you think they might hold it for another champ, but Killmonger is probably a champ to worth go after. Plus, this is the first 5-star arena, so I think you're going to see a lot of the whales go out and use the booster pack there to kind of boost up the scores this time. So I like that point. But on the counter side, you got Frank saying, I think this arena is going to pull a significant portion of those grinders who previously put up 20k-ish points, but I don't see enough 6-stars being out there to raise the max too much yet. So I think Frank's point is, yeah, I think we're going to get up there to 30-plus numbers, but not yet, just because a lot of folks don't have the 6-stars out there yet. So I think it's a good counterpoint, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But with that being said, plus considering the past results, here are my rough estimates. You see it all over here. Warning, these are rough predictions, just really estimates even, not even really predictions. But when it comes to the 5-star feature Killmonger arena, starting over here on the left, I think it's going to be around 32 million to get him. And I think that top 10%, that first shard tier is going to come in right at 9 million. If you look at the 4-star feature, that typically came in at the last milestone. I don't think this is going to push that high above the milestone, just as people kind of play it out. Plus, the milestone rewards aren't that great for the 5-star feature arena. If you're just after those, you might as well just hang around in the 4-star feature to get to the 4.5 instead of what's, you get an extra premium here, crystal, and I mean, it's just, they do have the boost, the greater arena booster crystals, but I don't think that's going to be enough to really drive this number up. So I think for that top 10% of the 5-star feature arena, we're going to see that coming at 9 million. Then we jump over to the then the 4-star feature. I think Killmonger is going to go for 15.5 million, with the top 10% coming at 4.2 million. We jump over to the Thor Ragnarok 4-star basic. I think that'll come in at 3.4 million, with 11 to 25% shard tier coming at 1.6 million. And lastly, I think we're going to see very similar numbers for this 3-star feature arena, where he's going to come in right around 1.53 million with a top 800, or I should say top 800. That should be the 11 to 25%. Sorry about that. So I guess the template's not complete 100%, but regardless, I think that 11% shard tier come in at 680,000. Now, when it comes to the grind, now again, this is round one predictions for the veterans bracket. These are where I think roughly the cutoffs will be. Again, this is not with any past data. There's no past data first time around with this arena structure, so this is kind of what I think where the cutoffs will lie. If you want to kind of, so I think even more important now is to have these grind targets, kind of that buffer zone. So if you really want to get Killmonger, you better go up to 35 million. If you really want that first shard tier, you better go to 10 million, maybe even 12 million. Go to that last milestone reward, even though it's not great. For the 4-star feature, if you want the 4-star Killmonger, go to 17 million. If you want the top 10% shard tier, might as well go over that last milestone reward and get to 4.6 million. And then if you want Thor Ragnarok, go to 3.6 million. And if you want 11 to 25% shard tier, go to 1.7 million. And lastly, if you want Killmonger 3-star feature, go to 1.6 million. And the top 8, again, not top 800, but the 11% shard tier, go to 700,000. Again, these are the safety targets, but who knows? There's nothing really safe again this time around because we don't have this arena structure. So we're going to have to wait 3 or 4 or 5 times before we get a sense of really where these cutoffs kind of fall out. But I think for now, these are the best guesstimates, if you will, going into the arena. Now, and these again were for the veterans bracket. Now, when we think about the beginner and intermediate bracket, supposedly there is not a 5-star feature arena that's coming down there. So it's not that we had a ton of results for the intermediate and beginners brackets to begin with anyway. But these predictions or estimates, if you will, ranges are pretty much consistent with what I've had in the past. And again, these two are not based off any past results. Unfortunately, they're never based off any past results because there's none available. And the people that actually play in these brackets fluctuate so much as they quickly move from one bracket to the next before getting to the veterans bracket after 61 days. So anyway, with all that being said, again, take some grain of salt with these rough ranges. For the beginners bracket, 3-star feature around 245,000, 4-star basic 1.2 million, 4-star feature 1.2 million. Intermediate bracket, look for 3-star feature coming in around 550, maybe even 500,000. This is based off my own personal experience from about a month ago with my free-to-play account. With the 4-star basic, you're looking at 1.3 million. With the 4-star feature, you're looking at 1.8. Again, I focused a lot on the 4-star feature and the 3-star feature arenas when I was in the intermediate bracket about a month ago, and I can say these numbers are pretty consistent from what I saw there. Maybe a little bit higher than what I typically see, especially based off of some recent results shared from some newer players, or I should say, not necessarily newer, but folks who have newer accounts. But anyway, if you go to these numbers, you should be in pretty good shape. And by the way, for those folks in the intermediate and beginner bracket, if there is actually a 5-star arena, would love to hear about that. Make sure to come back and let me know in the comment section. But anyway, these are my thoughts for the actual cutoffs for the first round of the new Killmonger and Thor Ragnarok arenas. Would love to really hear your thoughts and any questions you may have. Throw them on down in the comment section. This is definitely going to be a new territory with the new structure and the inclusion of the 5-star arena in the arena games, so it will definitely be interesting. I'll probably throw in the second round cutoff video that I used to do about 6 or 7 months ago, just as we're all trying to learn this new arena and where these cutoffs fall. So let's keep the dialogue going, keep the discussion, and we'll figure out better cutoff for these guys' predictions as we go along. So thanks a lot for watching the video. If you like this video, I really appreciate you clicking that thumbs up like button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, we really appreciate it. Subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.